if there's no other questions, we're going to get started. How cute is my little hat? And I've got the gloves. I feel like doing like a mime or something. Okay, we have come to the fun, exciting time. We are going to start our Kefir demo. It's actually all on my screen, which it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, can you be my presser? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make kefir, and we're going to make it from plant-based milks because it's another way to get an extra plant into us. Plus, there's no issues with anybody if you have no enzymes to break down lactose. And then, of course, we don't have the proteins of dairy, which the proteins alone are very inflammatory, causing to your entire body, including your gut. So, my two favourite, thank you so much. My two favourite, no, that's okay. It won't, we can't do both, hey? That's fine.
Which is more important? Which one do you want?
This is more important. This is more important. But can everybody, maybe I'll just move this back. Sorry, Charmaine. Oh, you want it back? I didn't realise we can't do like two at the same time or flip back and forth. Yeah, just so they can see. Thank you. Okay, so my two favourite milks for making kefir, thick and creamy. I opened it already tonight. Is your high protein ones. Okay, high protein means that it has 10 grams of protein per 1 cup. Okay, so that's this. Okay, beautiful organic soy milk protein plus. That's what it looks like. The other one is if you don't like soy for whatever reason, even though I'm a huge, massive advocate, and if you want to live long and have longevity and not have cancer, I definitely recommend soy. But you can also have a high protein almonds. Now the difference in yield between the two, so they both will make a thick Greek-style yogurt, which is what you want, because traditionally kefir is actually a very thin, very tangy drink, okay? I'm actually not a fan. I'm not a fan. So when I tried kefir for the first time, I'm like, I'm not sold, but the benefits were so good. And then I'm like, I need to try and work out a better way. So when you do it with this, it turns out thick like Greek-style yogurt. It does not have a zing, and it's just beautiful, cheap, organic, high protein yogurt, okay? So you can use anything. You can use coconut cream, you can use oat milk, you can use rice milk, but guess what? It's going to just be thin and there's not going to be any thickness to it. So if I'm making yogurt, it better look like a yogurt to me, otherwise it's not really going to quite work. So this is what I use, okay? Trust me, I've tried everything on the planet, okay? And nothing works better. I've even made my own soy milk and tried to do it, and I don't get that same yield because unless I'm putting protein powder in my own homemade soy milk, it won't thicken. So you need the protein molecules to actually make it thick because Greek-style yogurt is super high protein, okay? So these are my two to go for. All you need to make kefir is something called kefir milk grains. They are not kefir water grains. Water grains look like little see-through crystals. They make a really sparkly, yummy drink, okay? But this makes only milk products ferment, okay?
Where do you get that from?
You can get that from anywhere. Somebody who makes it, Gumtree, eBay, some health food stores. You can get it from anybody who you know is already making it, okay? So I'm going to show you. Now this one, he's just come a long trip, okay? So he's a bit wobbly. But that's because he'll smash and dip and throw it anyway. He's come a long way. But usually this is thick and I can move it and it doesn't, it's like flat and it's thick like Greek-style yogurt. So trust me, that's what it usually looks like. Now, years ago, I started doing this 20 years ago. And when I started doing it, no one even knew what it was. But now everybody knows what it is. And now it's in the supermarkets. And in the old days, you had to have the little curds, or kefir grains, and what they look like is a little squishy cauliflower floret. And it's literally a living matrix of proteins. And so they're living, okay, you can kill them, trust me. Don't do that because they are going to serve you for the rest of your life as long as you don't kill them. Now, I've never killed any grains, but the only way to do it is if you don't feed them and if you heat them, okay? That's the only way you can kill them, so it's really, really hard. So inside here, I'm not going to open it just because I'm going to drop him everywhere and I need him for the demonstration, but in the old days, you used to have these little grains that were loose and you'd put them in your milk and then they do their thing and eat up all of the goodness and then poop out probiotics and you get a nice yogurt. And then you have to strain it with a sieve and collect these little cauliflower florets. And then you need to get that and put it into the next batch, and that's how you do it. So think of it like, a culture of sourdough. You know how you have your starter? So these are kind of like the starter, except for that they are always around and they multiply and they grow. But what I got sick of, because I'm one of these people, first of all, I'm super, super busy. I have so many things on my plate. I don't have time to even do the straining. So I'm like, why can't I fix it? The last time, or when I went to a spotlight, it was at Easter time. And they had the Easter eggs that I think you're supposed to put like kids' lollies or something in, and then they do like an Easter egg hunt. Is that what they're for? Somebody inform me. Because that's what I think they're for. And these just come in packets from Spotlight. And guess what? They have little holes at the top and little holes at the bottom. And I'm like, that's all I need. I need a little guy to hold my munchkins, so that all I have to do from one batch to another is grab him out, put him in, pour milk on, I'm done. One second. Huh? So that's what I did. So I invented that, which I'm very proud of. Thank you very much. You can thank me later. Years later, like only a few years later, somebody came up with the idea of having like a plastic disc and having like holes in it. So same kind of principle, but they made it. And you can get that too, and it'll cost you $60 including postage. Or you can go to Spotlight and get like 10 of them for like $5 and put all your kefir grains in there. So you can put in here, like if you go and buy like a tablespoon from eBay or whatever, and just you pop him in there, you put it in your milk, and then every time I'm doing a new batch, I just have to grab him out and put him in a new bowl. That's how easy it is, okay? So how do I do a new batch? This is how easy it is. I get whichever milk I want. I'm going to do some soy. This is my favourite. This one does give you more yield of volume when it comes to making the curds later. And I'm a curd girl. I know, right? If you want to do curds, which is going to be your number one thing of doing kefir for, then you're going to want the soy milk over the almond, because you'll get like an extra 100 grams of curds in the end. So then all I do is I put this in here, and I just leave him in a nice warm place, or just like not in front of a heater, because that's not good, but somewhere warm, in a warm room, and you just leave him there. You can put a chucks cloth over the top, okay, or a muslin cloth or some cheesecloth, and that just stops any critters getting in. Okay, you can put a lucky band around it. This is not the kind of bowl I'd usually use, but that's what we've got. I just use this guy, and this is actually a fermenting crock, and it has like a little part at the top that opens up and lets it breathe. Because this is a living little munchkin, when they eat the fats and the proteins and then they poop out probiotics, there's a lot of gas, and you have to let it breathe. So I just put that on, but he can just breathe as much as he wants, and I just leave that there. When I wake up the next day, I got yogurt ready for breakfast. That's how easy it is. Do you think you could all do that?
Is that the screen you want?
Oh, yeah, here we go. So it takes, I think I overshot myself. It took me 30 seconds to put that egg in there and pour the milk on. But that's how quick and easy it is. If you're doing it the old school way, it's going to take you 5 minutes, because you've got to strain it first. And every time you strain, you lose munchkins in the strainer when you're rinsing, and you're just throwing those munchkins down the sink. So we don't want to do that. Okay, so how easy is it to make kefir milk? Can everyone do it? Who's going to do it? I love you already. I love your guts. I love your guts. Okay, now other things that you can use. So these are the eggs, of course. I even, on my charging at a station once for my car, I found a gumball machine. And gumball machines have toys in it, and those little holders have multiple holes. You can get them as well, $2, it'll cost you. And then you can also get these loose tea strainers. So these are stainless steel. So as long as they're fully stainless steel and not some dodgy sort of, Temu type thing, then that's fine as well. But I do prefer the plastic, because over time these can tarnish a little bit, and you don't really want to be eating or drinking any of that stuff. So I do stick with these. And plastics are fine as long as you never heat them, right? Because then you're not going to get anything out of it. So I recommend that. So that's how easy it is to do your kefir. That's making yogurt. Now, every now and then after you do a batch, because you can see the little guy, if you can see the little guy, just bobbing on top. Yeah, I don't know. So he's just bobbing on top, and what happens is when it gets really thick, you get a little crust around the top here, like a cylinder. Every time I take him out, I just give him a little rinse underneath the water and scratch off that, and then put him back in. Like, you don't have to do anything else, okay? That's how easy it is to maintain it. Of course, when you're doing any kind of fermented food, make sure you're clean. Make sure all your utensils, everything is clean, because you don't want to introduce different bacteria into there that should not be there, okay? So that's how it is to make the yogurt. any milk you can use. And if you don't mind about having the thick style yogurt, like I said, you can use your rice milks and so forth. All right, now, the other thing that you're going to need if you want to do more than just kefir, because in the whole world, I know, I've checked, all they do is do that. And usually it's a really thin sour drink. So I've made it thick, and then I decided there's so much more to kefir, and I am a culinary architect who loves to take plants and different things and almost be like a Heston Blumenthal, right? So in my dreams, sometimes I'm dreaming about introducing and like creating things that are not a thing. So I was like, what can I do with this? There's got to be more to it. I'm not the first person to ever strain a yogurt, but what I found out is if you strain this, it's the only probiotic living thick cream cheese in the world. And when you get that as a base, I call it Kefir cream cheese curds, okay? Because basically you're going to strain out all of the water, and you know most of these milks have high percentage of water, right? And all you get left with is your curds. So little Miss Muppet must have been making kefir, because she's having curds anyway, all right? So what I decided to do was which I use for everything. I use it for poultices, I use it for, you name it, Chuck's cloths, right? I should have shares in the company, but I don't. So out there, Mr. Chuck's people, talk to me. Chucks, but not those little dodgy blue ones that are like so small. When you're doing this, you need to call in the big guns, and you need these giant cloths that are the size of China. So when you get this, you need 2 of them, and you can buy them at Coles and Woolies, and they're just the giant ones, okay? Now, you're going to need that because what you do is you create a little straining setup, which I'll show you in a second, and then you clamp them together, these 2 layers of Chuck's cloth, with a little clip. I'm kind of doing it backwards because I'm showing you what the end result is, and then I'll show you how to do it. So it's just a little clip that you use in your kitchen. And why do you have to clip it up? Because if you don't clip it up, you're going to find out like I did the first time when I went to the shops and I came home and I had a waterfall on my kitchen table and it went all down in my carpet, and I had beautiful smelling cultured carpet. So you want to make sure that you clamp all of that stuff in there, because these guys absorb and they're going to lift up and they're going to put it wherever it's hanging. So if it hangs back in on itself, you're good. He's just going to hang back in there, and all the extra moisture is just going to drip its way down, and you're going to end up with this. This is whey. Now you can have whey not from dairy. It's a thing, I promise. That's what that is. This is protein water. Do you know that now you can buy protein water? It costs you a small fortune. Or you can just drink this stuff and don't throw it out because it's full of probiotics, it's full of protein and vitamins. So you can drink this, you can give it to your pets in their water. Chookies love it. You can also put it straight on your plants. I've got the best herb garden straight out my house because all of this stuff goes on there. And you can drink it yourself, of course, but you know, when you make so much of it, you can't drink it all. If you're brand new to eating fermented foods, and this is super concentrated, you might have a bit of bloat and gas when you first start. And it's not because something bad's happening. Well, something good's happening. Your bad bacteria start to fight with your good bacteria, and there's some fighting and explosions going on. So you might feel a bit bloated and gassy just to start, but once that stops, you know that the good guys won, okay? But it is exacerbated, not so much when you eat the curds, but when you drink this, oh, I'm just giving you the heads up. Start with a tablespoon a day, trust me. All right, so I now have these cream curd probiotic curds, whatever you want to call it. I call them cream cheese curds because to me, it looks exactly like Philadelphia curds. Look at this. So if you've ever made like real dairy ricotta or anything like that, that's what that is. Or that is your Philadelphia cream cheese. That is whatever you want it to be. And what I wanted is something to make all the things that I missed when I gave up dairy. The creamy cheesecakes, the creamy dips that have that mouthfeel and dairy flavour. That's what this is, all right? So that's how much you get from 1 litre, which is quite a good amount, okay? I won't send it around, but it has a cultured smell, okay? But also too, this has travelled in the car. Can I just mention one thing? When you start to strain it in the fridge, because we live in a hot environment. In Tassie, I used to make this stuff. I used to make like 20, 30 kilos a week, and I'd sell it all at my market stall. I had a cultured food stand, and I used to do kombucha and water kefir and all that sort of stuff. And this stuff was my biggest seller, as you can imagine. So great for children, great for babies, best way to get probiotics into you. And then of course, wait until you see what you can do with it. So, can I actually get this taken away, my dear? And what I'm going to do, can I just get that colander cleaned and brought back, just the colander? So I'm going to show you how we make it, okay, from our yogurt. Now, first of all, what you want to do is buy some tubs. These are just from like Reject Shop, okay, something that's just big to be able to hold and house your colander. And so I found other tubs, especially don't use square ones. It just doesn't work as well, because then with the weight of everything inside the colander, it tips and you end up with some of your yogurt like coming out the top. So I love this, and all you have to do is get a colander, just one from Kmart, doesn't really matter, and then you just need 2 giant Tux cloths. And what we're going to do is layer those inside the colander and then pour the yogurt in. So first of all, we take out our little egg, we start making another batch, okay? And as I said, usually it's really thick like a Greek style. Thank you so much. Okay, so we just put our colander inside. Then we're going to grab 1 cloth. And these cloths you reuse, like no joke, 6 months, 12 months even. Once you've got them, you're set. But you want to put them so that the diamonds are offset so that you make a star, okay? And the reason for that is because we want to make sure that we can gather it all very well at the end. So I just put them across on the opposite sides, push that in, make sure that we have equal amounts hanging out on both sides. Grab yourself a spatula, your pre-made thick yogurt. Watch for the splashback. Okay, but you can see, yeah, see how this didn't get shot with all the traveling? Oh, you can't see from there, but anyway, thick, right? Super thick. So yeah, you usually have to like get it off the sides. And then you just put all of that in, and straight away you're going to start to get some droplets underneath. Sometimes if your milk's a bit thin, so mine's a bit thin because of all the car riding, you might get a few little drops of like yogurt looking droplets. I don't know if this is, can anyone see that yet? But usually it should only come out clear, and it's okay if you lose a little bit of yogurt, just while the little holes in the Tux cloth at the bottom start to, you know, get clogged up really, is what happens. Okay, so once I've got all of this out, you want to clean all of your equipment. So I have special spatulas and special, like this special jar, and anything that I use for kefir, like I have a special cleaning sponge, and I only use it for kefir. So I've got my own little kefir stuff that I keep in a box. I never use anything with detergents because they are antibacterial. This is bacteria, we don't want to kill it. We don't even want to wash these in detergent. I just water wash them, let them hang and dry, because what happens is, even though you know you might get just a few residues, next time you do a strain, you're killing bacteria. Like, it's not good. So only ever water clean, all right? So once we have done that, I'm just going to use this to clean myself, but it's all good. Then we're going to grab up the edges. So usually to ferment, it's overnight, so I just do it over night time, or I'll do it in the morning. In summertime, we're talking like 5 hours, I've got it fully set, because summer, out where we are, like 45 degrees, right? But here in Brizzy, it'll take you like a good 8 hours or so, right? Maybe in summer just a little bit quicker. But I always just recommend to do it over night time so that you wake up to freshly brewed yogurt. Like, you can't go wrong. Grab your little clippy clip. So usually I would have rinsed this, okay? So you just rinse everything in between uses. Okay, put the clip on. He's just gonna go back into himself. And then I put this whole thing in my fridge. And I let it drip dry in the fridge, because if you don't, because it's a live food, it's just going to continue to ferment and get more tangy. And I like a little bit of tang, but I'm not like a massive tang fan. So that's how I do it. You can do it any way you want. If you want it tangy out, leave it on the bench to strain. It's up to you. But in winter time, this might take you, instead of taking like 8 to 10 hours or overnight, it might take you like all day and all night. Okay, this kind of weather at the moment, like we've got minuses where I am, so it is taking like a full 24 hours, or probably less, but it happens in the sleep. I don't know, I wake up, it's still done, but I have to do it from the morning until the next morning. So yeah, it doesn't matter, he'll always do his thing. And as long as you keep getting thick yogurt, the grains are healthy and happy and fine. If you ever smell a pungent, like dirty sock kind of smell, we all know what that smells like, that's dead. Okay, you've killed it, somehow you've killed it, you either haven't fed it or whatever. If you go away on holidays, there are ways that you can keep it alive. You can actually just put the amount of grains, like let's just say this, if I put this in the fridge instead of making it ferment outside on the counter, that is going to take me about 3-4 days to actually get thick and become yogurt in the fridge. So sometimes you're like, I don't really want a batch this week, or I'm busy, or I'm going away. That's okay. You put him inside, and for every litre of milk to your 1 egg's worth of little Kefir milk grains, you've got about 3 days up your sleeve. So like when I've gone to Africa for a month, I literally put like 10 litres and put him in a tub this big. I come back, I've got yogurt the size of China, and I'm making it for all my friends, and they all love it because they're always like, bring me your dip, right? So it's fine, totally fine. And it's usually though, like you only need to do 1 batch a whole week, or even every 2 weeks to be able to keep the grains alive. That's what's amazing. It's one of those pets that you can't kill. It's like a cactus for food, okay? Way better than sourdough, I'll just tell you. All right, so now that I've got my curds, I can make from this anything your heart desires, and I do. So at first I thought dips. I want creamy dips. I want French onion dip. Like I remember, I want creamy, cheesy char-grilled capsicum dips, or a char-grilled eggplant dip, right? So I started going to town, and then I'm like, wait a second, I can make pesto with a cream cheese. So I started making pesto. And then because I've got a dehydrator, I started making hard cheeses that you can slice, and they're still alive with probiotics. So I'm hoping one day you'll see me in Coles or on Shark Tank. Just wish me luck, all right? But this is a game changer for me and my life, and for all the wellness retreats. People would come to the wellness retreat and they're like, I'm coming for the food. It's totally amazing. But let me show you how you can start to do things. We're going to start off with the most basic. This is the first recipe that I ever made with Kefir, and it was French onion substitute dip, right? All you need is 3 ingredients. Your curdy curds, and some onion flakes or pieces, and then some kind of a salt or stock powder. My favourite is the chicken masala. There's no chickens that were harmed in the making of this, it's just herbs and savoury yeast flakes. So what I'm going to do here is, this is the golden ratio, 2 tablespoons of stock powder because it doesn't have much like salt, and then 1 tablespoon of onion. And you're going to try this today when you have your little taste. If you're an onion person, go 2 or 3, you can't overdose, right? But this is the perfect ratio. This is an onion that it's raw and it's just been dehydrated, so it is a prebiotic. The curds are a probiotic. I'm having a pre-pro dip. All right, so then all we have to do is just give it a little stirry stir, and it's like a 2-second job. And I used to sell, no joke, because I was doing all those dips, because that was the first thing I started doing, until I realised that with these curds, you can then make quiches, you can make cheesecakes, you can make mousses. There's nothing that you can't make. Frozen barks, the whole lot. I do all of it, right? And in my new cookbook, Kefir Creations, I have 44 recipes of what you can do with kefir. Making your own mozzarella cheeses, making your own parmesan cheeses, and doing, all of this plus more. And today what you're going to get to try for your taste test is you're going to try this French onion dip, and that's it, it's done. Leave it for about 30 minutes just to let the onions rehydrate, really, otherwise they're a little bit chewy and crunchy. But once you've done that, you're good to go. This will store in the fridge for 2 weeks. And whenever I go anywhere, I just take like a probiotic board, and it's just cheeses and dips, and I even make these into crackers and do a raw cracker, so even the cracker is probiotic. So the sky's the limit. But you're going to try the French onion dip today, you're going to try a sun-dried tomato dip, and also a Kalamata olive dip. And you'll get to try that with some crackers, and then you're also going to get some sauerkraut, which has nothing to do with kefir, but it's good for your gut, so I'm giving you some of that. And you'll get a little mini quiche. It's all gluten-free and plant-based, and it's made with this French onion dip and just some veggies added into it. I put it inside my quiche. You don't even need to use shells if you don't want. Put it into mini muffin trays, cook it, and you end up with these little puffy quiche bites. It's just incredible. Now, when you cook it, you obviously lose the probiotic benefit, but you still get all the prebiotic benefits. So, yeah, some foods are cooked, but the majority of them are all still raw and full of probiotics. All right, so what else can we do with this kefir? If we can get those curds and the raspberries, we're actually going to make a froyo. Who here remembers froyo? Do you remember that? That strawberry froyo that used to be able to buy, this frozen yogurt in a little cup. Anyway, it tasted amazing, right? I don't know if they still have it. I haven't seen it. But anyway, all we're going to do is blend up 3 ingredients: the curds, the raspberry, and then sweetener. So sweetener of your choice. You can use powdered. I'm going to use some maple syrup today. And you're going to get to try this as well. Thank you, my son. And it's really, really easy. So think of your favourite ice creams or your favourite frozen yogurts or your favourite, I might just need some scissors. Or just an ice cream that has probiotics in it. Have you ever heard of a probiotic ice cream before? Doesn't exist until now. You're welcome. All right. So, what we're going to do is I prefer to use a food processor over a blender, because blenders, you know, if they don't have enough moisture, they can't connect, right? So I prefer this. You can get this from Kmart, a couple of bucks. But what the trick is to actually use, I'm just going to put this in here. Now, because it's a living food, when you make it, can you see how I've got some extra moisture hanging around on the edges? You just pour them out, no biggie. As long as a whole lot doesn't go for a ride as well. All right, doesn't matter if you use some anyway, it might help with the blending. So you just grab your curds in the bottom, because that will spin quicker and better than a frozen any kind of fruit. So you can do this with any fruit: mangoes, blueberries, kiwi fruits, cherries. I make this cherry ripe one. It's just incredible. But you know what? It's super low fat, high protein, and it's so filling. It's so good for your gut. It's like the healthiest treat type food that you can imagine. So you can eat it and have no guilt, I promise. All right, so next we're going to add our berries. Now I'm just guesstimating here, but in your recipes there, it's like a cup to a cup or half a cup. Depends on how much fruit you want, right? I'm not going to put the sweetener in yet. I'm just looking for my lid. Where did it go? All right, let's hope that this works. I don't think I mind. Do you mind just because I'm loved up? Thank you so much. All right, so let there be power. All right, let's try that again. So of course you've always got to do the scrape down, right? And especially we're dealing with frozen fruit. Now you can slightly let it defrost, but what I've found is just add more curds if you need it to move, okay? But you can see it's already started to combine. And honestly, that frozen yogurt flavour, like I love that, you know, yogurty type flavour. And then fresh berries, like you're getting all of your amazing antioxidants. Let's try it again. Was anybody here, I don't know, it was like a few times back, and I made strawberry fluff. Does anyone remember the strawberry fluff? It was like light as mousse. You could turn it upside down on a spoon and it wouldn't drop. So as you can see, all I'm doing is I'm pressing these down like to the blade area, yeah, just so that it can grab. All right, so it's just a couple of those. Go one more time. Okay, so probably I would just go one more blitz because there's just one or two little hard guys left behind. I mean, it's up to you, right? And can you see how beautiful and vibrant that is? Better get the bottom bits as it hasn't really mixed well. Okay, so I'm going to give it one more blitz, and then guess what? You're going to try this for your little dessert. So what we're going to do for the taste test is we're going to serve you those savoury foods first. Once you finish those, you can come back around and then you get to have your frozen dessert. Now the other thing you can do as well is you can actually mix this up with like either defrosted or fresh berries, doesn't really matter. And then you can just put that in the fridge, okay, if it's not a frozen berry to start with, and then you've got yourself a beautiful thick mousse, okay? So you can do it as a mousse, but if you use frozen berries over defrosted or fresh raw ones, then you end up with an ice cream. So ice cream or mousse, either way, but same principle, all right? Now I'm just going to add some sweetener. And that's it. Now the only downside with kefir is that it doesn't freeze well. You have to either eat it right there and then, because otherwise, I might have to add a few berries because I overdid it. But basically, you get it to the consistency you want. It tastes amazing and just a few ingredients. So that's how easy it is. I love it with mango. I love it with pineapple. I love it any way it comes. You make beautiful chocolate versions, whatever you'd like. So that's pretty much it for today. But with the kefir cookbook, I just want to go through, if we can go back to the camera, and I might just show you a few awesome things in the kefir cookbook. Thank you so much. Actually, can we get this ice cream in the fridge, in the freezer? So you can put it in the freezer just short term. You just need some berries added to it to get that stick. Okay, amazing. All right, so I just want to show you this Kefir Creations book. So in here you can see these are all of the different recipes that you can make. You can't see what they are, but they're amazing. And it's really, really simple, easy to make. And everything except for 2 recipes still retain all of the probiotics. So only 2 of them are cooked, and one of them is the quiches that you'll be trying. So this book is fantastic. You're able to purchase that, and any of my other books that I've written, such as my hydrotherapy water short course. So I'm an educator as well, and I teach for TAFE Queensland. And I love training people on how to take care of themselves, yourself, your family, your anybody that you know and love. So there's a whole training course there, and you can actually read how to do a certain hydrotherapy treatment, and then you can click on a link and go and watch the video to get the demonstration, so that you're not left trying to figure out yourself. I also have the Kefir Creations, and I also have a gluten-free cookbook. So my friend was asking about what bread to eat. I think she's gone. But in this cookbook, I have gluten-free artisan-style breads, and the trick to gluten-free cooking is to actually use a Pullman tin. And so it makes everything lighter. Pullman tin. So it's the tins that have its own lid, and the bread steams as well as cooks. And so I make sourdough bread with my kefir as a starter. Some are sourdough, some are not. And then I make this amazing gluten-free bread. So I've got that cookbook there as well. And I also sell the different size tins. So if you're into that, you can click on the QR code. Don't worry, there'll be a page soon where it has all of these QR codes on there. If you ever need any extra help and advice, you can always contact me. Either text me on the phone number that's there, or you can click on the code and send me an email, and I'll send you whatever help you would like, and we can get together and try and work on that. I also do a monthly health newsletter as well. Every month I'll talk about a specific trending topic, and then also I'll give you a free recipe. So if you like my food and you enjoy what you eat today, go ahead and check that out. Subscribe, and I will get you onto that list. And then of course, these are just those 3 places. So I'm going to leave this up here in your own time. Go ahead, click on which one, click on all. But I want to thank you all so much for your amazing patience. I hope that you have learned something today that you can try, but we can't start our taste test until I give you a few quizzes. All right, first person to yell out and tell me, what is the name of the one layer of cells that protects us from things going into the bloodstream? What's the name? What is it? Whoever gets it first. The name of that one layer of cells that stops anything, any endotoxins going into the bloodstream. Close? You're close. I'll give you one hint. It starts with E. Huh? It's something sides. What's the E part? Huh? And who said it? Somebody said it. So close. What did you say? You said it, my friend. You got it. Okay, you have a free Kefir cookbook coming your way, my friend. Come on and give me your details at the end. Okay. Congratulations, everyone. You have learned stuff here that's going to change and transform your life. I hope that you'll put it into practice. Next time I see you, I want you to say, guess what, Candice? You don't have to love my guts anymore, because I love my guts. Thanks for coming. That's free.
You learned something today. That was awesome. Oh, I was just every minute writing notes and going, wow, I'm going to go home and do that. Who's going to go home and make this? Wait till you try it. It's amazing. Yes. And to get the Kefir, do you have like a favourite website or something like that?
Kefir Australia. They have it.
There you go, Kefir.
But, you know, your local Gumtree is probably easier and closer.
Yes.
Thanks for that.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'm keen to try some of this, so maybe let's just say grace over our food, and then we can go and enjoy it. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for all these beautiful people who've come today. Thank you for Candice and for her wealth of knowledge, and I just pray that each one of us can go home and apply these things, and that we can have healthy, happy bodies. And I pray a blessing on our food. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right.